Hey guys, how's it going? I would like to give a special thank you to all of you who have watched my videos I've posted so far and you've given me feedback. Thank you for that. Today I'm going to be reviewing another book by one of my favorite authors, Stephen King. This book was released in 1998 and it really showed a more mature side to King and his writing. It's at its core a dark romantic story. It's not horror, really. There are some horrific elements, but it's not a horror story. That's not what it's about. It's a romantic story, and as the back of it says, it's a haunted love story. This book is, of course, Bag of Bones. The first time I read this 2 years ago, I was not very impressed with it for some reason. I don't know why. It's just other people would say, I really love Bag of Bones. At least people on his message boards. This is not really that popular outside the hardcore fan base. I don't think, anyway. I didn't understand the love for it. So a few months ago, I reread this story. I was very impressed. A lot of the time with King stories, if I love it, I never really want to reread it because my opinions usually change. Sometimes I reread a book, I love it even more. Sometimes I don't like it as much, as was the case with Christine. And sometimes I don't like a King book, and I'll reread it when I'm a little older, and it strikes me completely different, and it's just great, and I like, oh yeah, I really see where people are coming from. This story is about Michael Noonan, a famous author. He lost his wife Johanna in '94. This story takes place in '98, the year it was published. Mike goes to his summer house. He's been having writer's block. He wants to get away. The story is very similar to later ones like Dune McKee and Lacey's story, and I love those kind of stories by King. They're great. I love his more romantic stories. I usually don't like romantic movies or books or anything like that. But with King, it's different. They're actually really interesting and they're real. In this book, the characters in this book are really some of King's most real and most interesting to read. I love Maddie. I love Max DeVore. Mike, obviously, Johanna, her ghost, Sarah Tidwell, all these characters, they're great to read about. And this is a ghost story. There are some ghosts, but it's not as scary as you would think. They're kind of there to help the core story along because this guy really just misses his wife. That's what it's about. He's trying to get his writing career back on track. I thought that this book really showed off some of King's best writing to date. It's like he tried to start, tongue-tied. With Insomnia, a book that came out 4 years prior to this, it was like he tried to write a story like this, but it just didn't work as well, at least in my opinion. But I would like to read a bit from this story. It wasn't the first time I'd spooked myself like that. I see things, that's all. Write enough stories and every shadow on the floor looks like a footprint. Every line in the dirt like a secret message. Which did not, of course, ease the task of deciding what was really peculiar at Sarah Laughs and what was peculiar only because my mind was peculiar. I love King's books that have a writer as the main character. It's interesting to get into the mind of an author. Stephen King knows it better than almost anyone else, and it's cool to see what he's thinking, and it's fun to try to decide what's fictionalized about an author's life and what's real about his life, all that. And Michael Noonan is one of the best author lead characters that I've read by Stephen King, along with Ben Mears and Bill Denbrough and many others. So pick this one up today. It's very good, but don't expect typical King horror story that involves vampires or haunted hotels or anything like that, because you're not going to get it. It's just a great fiction story about Michael Noonan. It's a great story about loss, and there's a lot of nature elements in there, which I really like. The lake and the trees and all that. It's beautiful. You can really picture yourself there, and I love it. I would give this one 5 out of 5. Great read, one of my very favorite King books. Thank you for watching.